I woke up this morning and things are moving. The stock market is down. Bitcoin is down. Shit. Gold is up. The dollar is up. And we also saw a huge spike in the price of oil. It's up around 4% on the day. So I naturally went to X and had to see what was going on. And it turns out that Iran is looking to retaliate against Israel for their recent moves. We know that Israel recently assassinated Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in Lebanon, and they also bombed Houthi targets in Yemen. I believe these are the events that Iran is looking to respond to, but it's definitely scary stuff. It seems like this conflict in the Middle East is just continuing to escalate. And it makes you think, where is this headed? So lots of uncertainty out there in the markets today. That's why we are seeing stocks, US stocks, head lower, and we are seeing gold head up. When the world is getting along and countries are able to have a productive relationship with one another without conflict, the stock market likes that. But when we're in a period like today where we have rising conflict, especially in a critical area, right in the middle of these OPEC countries, right? We're seeing the price of oil head higher. The stock market doesn't like that. And that is why we are seeing the stock market fall on this news. And I talked about in my last video how there's just so much uncertainty out there right now with the election, with this conflict in the Middle East, and of course the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, that I just don't think stocks are a great bet right now, even with the Fed flipping to a looser monetary policy. I think there are better ways to take advantage of that dollar debasement without the risk that stocks have. So stocks heading lower. Now, if we look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is also down today. As much as I believe Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, it hasn't quite started trading like a safe haven asset. A lot of people treat Bitcoin like it's a risk asset, like it is a stock. So when we get bad news for the stock market, sometimes we see Bitcoin sell off. And we're seeing Bitcoin doing the inverse of gold today, right? Gold is heading higher and Bitcoin is heading lower. And Bitcoin's just a smaller asset. It's a little bit more volatile than gold, or a lot more volatile. And not everybody quite understands what Bitcoin is yet. When people do start to understand what Bitcoin is, and that's going to happen with continued currency debasement as more people start to look to Bitcoin as a safe haven asset, that's when I believe we're going to start seeing it trade a little bit more like gold. If you're looking at the short term, if you're not trading from the long side, Bitcoin's going to have its periods where it heads lower. It shoots lower and it shoots higher. Now let's look at the assets that are performing well today. You look at gold. Gold is up big today. I believe it's up over 1%. It's sitting around $2,664 per ounce. And the reason that gold is up is that people look at gold as a safe haven asset, right? They see it as uncorrelated to all this drama that's going on in the Middle East and with the world economy. The way gold responded to today's news is a great advertisement for gold. With all the uncertainty out there, it looks like gold is probably going to be a good place to store your wealth for the next 6 months, next 12 months. Just with governments flipping to a looser monetary policy and uncertainty, I think that people are going to be looking for a safe place to store their wealth, and gold has proven to be that in the past. So I would expect the gold price to keep heading higher throughout the rest of this year, but we will just have to see. Gold has performed very well over the past 12 months. It's up from under $2,000 per ounce to above $2,600 per ounce. So just keep something to keep in mind. We could get a pullback, but if we keep getting events that push up global fear and uncertainty, I think we're going to see more people shift to gold just because They don't know what's going to happen with these other markets. They're looking for something reliable. We've also seen the dollar up big today, and we're seeing demand for Treasury bonds here in the United States. Now, why is that? It's because people feel safe in the US dollar and US Treasuries because of the United States global position, right? The United States is perceived as the most powerful nation in the world. In times of conflict, people like to be sided with the United States, right? They feel safe there. They feel safe in the dollar and they feel safe in US Treasuries. And when we're seeing people sell out of stocks, when we're seeing the stock market head lower, that means that a lot of people are selling into the dollar, right? That's what they're trading into. Who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of months? Who knows if we have a more severe stock market correction, like a real stock market crash? It shows that people are probably going to sell into US Treasuries and sell into the dollar. People still feel comfortable in the dollar and Treasuries, even though we know that the dollar has its problems. We know that the United States has very severe economic problems with our huge pile of national debt. It hasn't gotten to the point where people don't feel safe in treasuries. They're still selling into treasuries in times of uncertainty. So we will have to see how Iran's missile strike on Israel goes and when it happens, if it happens. And we'll also see how Israel responds, right? Do they retaliate with a more aggressive attack? And again, this is really scary stuff. I hope that it doesn't continue to escalate, but it seems like tensions just continue to rise. The moves that we've seen today in response to this news, it's a great advertisement for gold. It looks like gold is going to be a good place to stay over the short term. I also think it's a good advertisement for US Treasury bills, those short-term treasuries where you can just earn yield over the next 3 to 6 months with all this uncertainty out there. That wraps it up for this video. If you're interested in getting exposure to Bitcoin, check out my Swan Bitcoin link in the description. When you use that link to sign up today, you can get $10 off your first Bitcoin purchase. Not a bad deal. If you didn't like and subscribe, please make sure to do that now. I believe I'm still at 99 subscribers, so I'm one away from that 100 mark. Could be you. It would be great for us. Let's do it. Let's see it happen. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.